Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Virtual Sunday School. So glad to be studying God's Word with you this morning. Today we are continuing to look at the book of Joshua. So we're continuing to talk about God's people and the history that is told to us in the Bible of how they were taken care of by God. And as we have seen, as we've studied through the law and now the history, we're seeing that when God's people obey God, He blesses them, right? We're seeing that God asks his people to obey, and when they obey him, they receive blessing. When they disobey him, it's not that God is like leaves them or is like, I'm not doing anything nice for you again, right? But there are consequences that come with it. So I often think about like when I was young, if my mom said, don't touch the stove, it's hot. If I went and disobeyed her and touched the stove, what might happen? I might burn my hand. That's not my mom punishing me. She didn't force me to put my hand on the stove and burn it as a punishment. No, it's just a consequence for an action that I took. So we're going to see throughout the rest of the story about how when people obey God, there's just natural blessing that comes. And when people disobey God, there are consequences to those actions. Sin always hurts our relationship with God, and it can hurt those around us as well. So when we choose to disobey or to not follow God's commands or trust him and do what he says, there are consequences to those actions. Sin always has consequences. Today's story is about another battle that Joshua led. Remember last time we talked about Jericho? This is about another battle that Joshua led. In the end, God gave his people the victory, but not before many of them were hurt by someone's disobedience. So I'm going to show you a picture before we jump into our time of worship. This is called the eye plaque. And these panels were created about 1,000 years ago. They show some of the scenes from the book of Joshua. And you can look at the different panels and kind of guess and think about what was happening in the story at this point. Today we're going to study one of the stories on this panel. I want you to remember what it looks like and see if you can figure out which picture we're going to be talking about. All right, and before we go into our lesson, we're going to go into a time of worship.
I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power, yeah. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power, yeah, God's power. So don't hold back, no, don't hold still. 'Cause God is here and he is real. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now freeze. And everybody clap your hands. Now stop. I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power, yeah, God's power. It's the power to move any star. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power, yeah, God's power. So don't hold back, no, don't hold still. God is here and he is real. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back. Let's do it all again right now. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, Everybody clap your hands. Now stop.
No matter what I go through, no matter how hard it gets, I know that God is with me. That is what the Bible says. Ruler of creation, always by my side. He is with me all the time. God is faithful, always follows through. His promises are true. God is faithful, He hears and answers us. We worship Him because God is faithful. Even when I'm hurting, I will never be alone. I know that God is there and I know that He is on His throne. Ruler of creation, always by my side. He is with me all the time. God is faithful, always follows through. His promises are true. God is faithful, He hears and answers us. We worship Him because God is faithful, always follows through. His promises are true. God is faithful, He hears and answers us. We worship Him because God is faithful.
All right, boys and girls, today we are again in the book of Joshua, continuing through the history of the Bible, or the history that the Bible tells us of God's people in Joshua. We're going to be in Joshua chapter 7, and I'm just going to read a teeny tiny bit of it to you today. Again, if you have time, go back and have your mom or dad, brother, sister, or you, if you're old enough to read the Bible on your own, to read chapters 7 and 8. We have seen that God gave Joshua a great victory over the city of Jericho last week, but this week we're going to hear a problem in today's story. We're going to hear about how disobedience, the Israelites' sin, caused the people a heartache. So I want you to be listening. This verse is going to give us a little taste of it, and then I want you to be listening in the story to how the people's sin causes them problems. So we're in chapter 7, verse 1, and it says, "But the people of Israel broke faith in regard to the devoted things, and the anger of the Lord burned against the people of Israel." So we're going to see in today's story what happens because of God's people's disobedience. All right, I hope you enjoyed that time of worship, boys and girls. We're going to move into our lesson today, and I am going to read the story to you in my own words, and I want you to listen for the instance where you hear disobedience against the covenant that God had made with His people. So I'm going to put up the lesson picture, and I want you to listen for that disobedience. When the Israelites defeated Jericho, God told the people not to keep anything from the city. Everything was to be destroyed, but one person disobeyed, and sin always hurts people in their relationship with God. The Israelites planned to defeat the city of Ai next. They sent soldiers out to fight. They were so sure they would win. Israel didn't even send out all of their soldiers. They only sent out 3,000 soldiers, but the soldiers were chased away by the soldiers of Ai. Some of the soldiers died. Joshua was upset. He asked God why the people were defeated. God told Joshua that someone had disobeyed and stolen things from Jericho. Because of this sin, God could not help the people defeat their enemies. The covenant with God had been broken. Joshua discovered a man named Achan had stolen things from Jericho and hidden them in the ground inside his tent. Achan brought all of the stolen things to Joshua, but Achan and his family died because of his sin. Sin always has a price. Then God told Joshua, "Do not be afraid or discouraged. I will give you victory over the city of Ai." Joshua obeyed God's instructions to create an ambush, and the Israelites defeated Ai. After the battle, Joshua built an altar to God and led the people to offer sacrifices. Joshua read aloud the book of the law to the people to remind them of their special covenant with God. All right, did you guys hear where the disobedience occurred in our story? God made a covenant with the people. He told them if they obeyed him, he would be with them. Achan caused the covenant to be broken because he stole things from the city of Jericho. God wasn't with the people when they first tried to take the city of Ai. So the consequences of Achan's sin were that Israelite soldiers were killed and that Achan and his whole family died. But God showed that he was gracious and merciful to his people because he told Joshua not to be discouraged. He told them that he would give them the victory. And the second time the Israelites tried to conquer Ai, things went differently. And the difference was that God was with them the second time. They conquered Ai and took over another piece of the promised land. Now let's look back at that Ai plaque that I showed you at the beginning of our time together. And you see the picture of the king of Ai bowing before Joshua after they defeated Ai. We have to remember that the Bible shows us over and over again that sin separates us from God. When we obey, we're doing things his way, and his way is always better than the way that we imagine things to go. So now we are going to head over to Joel and do our Explore the Bible segment.
Hello, my fellow warriors. You might be wondering what's going on. Well, I'm on a nationally ranked archery tag team. That's right. We will win as a team, we will lose as a team, and today we are at the national championship. Seriously, if we don't do exactly what our team captain says, we're gonna lose. Archery tag is going to help us dig into our story in the Bible today. So turn in your Bibles to Joshua chapter 7 and get ready to discover that sin is destructive. It separates us from God. I'm Joel. This is Explore the Bible on Location, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Israel had just finished a decisive victory against the impenetrable city of Jericho. Now it was time to battle and defeat the city of Ai. Joshua sent a small group of soldiers because Ai was a smaller city. But something unexpected happened. The enemy soldiers defeated Israel. All of Israel was so sad and cried out to God, wondering what had happened. Why did Israel lose? Okay, listen up. We're in the championship round. Every member of my team is out, except me. And every member of the other team is out, except one. So my team captain, he told me I should go up the left and secretly ambush the other team's player when he's not expecting it. That sounds good and all, but I had another plan. I'm gonna go straight up the middle so everyone can see me, and then I'll be like right around the corner. Hoo-yah! And I'm gonna get the other guy out, and I'll be a hero! Doesn't that sound like a better plan? I'm a brave person! Let's go. I blew it! I lost that for my team, that whole round. I should have listened to my captain instead of doing what I wanted to do. And now we lost the round. The other team's leading us 1-0. If they win 3 rounds, they're gonna win the whole championship. All right, it's time for the next round. But this time, I'm gonna listen to my captain. Okay, come here. So my team won the last 2 games, which means we're up 2-1. If we win this round, we win the whole championship. I can't believe it. Plus, I'm the only person left on my team, and there's only 1 person left on the other team. So, captain wants me to go around the left side, like he told me to do last time, and ambush him when he's not expecting. But I've been thinking. I think I know what I did wrong the first time when I ran down the middle. I went in a straight line, but this time I'm gonna zigzag and do little jumps and do spins, and that guy's gonna be like, whoa, is that a regular person or a superhero? By the time he figures out I'm a regular person, I'm gonna shoot him, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna be champions! I'll see you on the victory podium. I'm a brave person! I'm going this way. Spin move. Well, here I am, sitting on these rocks. These rocks are called the rocks of disappointment. You only get to sit here when you're a failure. I lost that round for my team. And now if the other team wins 1 more round, they win it all. How come when I do what I want to do instead of what the captain wants me to do, we always lose? I thought I had good ideas. We have to win this next round so we can force a final round and win the championship. I am going to listen to my captain. Hey captain, can I get off the rocks of disappointment now? Oh, I can't, thank you. They're very uncomfortable. Joshua asked God why Israel was defeated by Ai. God said it was because a man named Achan had sinned. God had commanded Israel not to take any treasures from Jericho. Instead of listening, Achan did whatever he wanted to do and took gold and other things from Jericho. Because of this, Israel was defeated by Ai. Achan's sin was punished. Then, all of Israel's enemies went to fight against Ai, and together everyone obeyed God, and Ai was defeated. Sin separates us from God. Israel had to fully obey God to experience the victories God promised. You guys are not gonna believe this. Okay, so it's just me and that one other player again. His name is Melvin. I'm coming for you, Melvin! He's so scared of me. Anyway, all right, here's what Melvin is expecting. He's expecting that I'm gonna go down the middle. I'm not gonna do that. You see, I've learned from the book of Joshua and from our story today that I should do what my captain is saying. So I'm gonna go around the left side and I'm gonna ambush Melvin, win this thing, and we're gonna get the victory. You guys ready? For the team. I'm a team player! We did it! We won! We are the champions! Seriously, this is my trophy. My teammates gave it to me. They took it from the rocks of disappointment, but instead of a rock of disappointment, they call it my rock of victory. But I shall call it Dolphin Fist. Let's talk about what we learned in our story today from the book of Joshua. We learned that sin has a price. Sin breaks our relationship with God, but when we trust in Jesus, Jesus can forgive us of our sin, heal our relationship with God, and give us the power to obey God instead of sinning against Him. That is really good news, and that's what we discover when we dig into the book of Joshua. I'm Joel, he's Dolphin Fist, this is Explore the Bible on Location, and now I'm off to the pizza place to meet my teammates. You love Canadian bacon too, don't you, Dolphin Fist?
Hey everyone! So what I'm going to need you to do right now is grab your Bibles, hopefully you still have them after our Bible story, and I want you to flip over to Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. Flip over there, I'll give you a second. Okay, are you there? All right, I'm going to read this verse out loud, and then our activity is going to go with this verse. Well, the second half of this verse. Let me read it real quick. Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. And if it is evil in your eyes to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your fathers served in the region beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. Okay, this is the part I'm going to need you guys to listen the most. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. In this, Joshua is saying that in everything that he does, he will trust and he will serve the Lord. So for our activity today, I need you guys to try to find some things. I used popsicle sticks. You guys can use popsicle sticks if you have them. If not, you can just draw whatever we're gonna draw on your piece of paper. But I used popsicle sticks for mine. You could probably use chopsticks for something. Anything that resembles some kind of long thing like this. I don't know, something like this. And what you're gonna do is if you have popsicle sticks, I want you to color them. See, I colored mine. I pre-did it. I colored them. They can be different colors, whatever. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a piece of paper and you are, I don't wanna show you this part yet, going to glue a house onto your piece of paper. Excuse me. So you are going to take your popsicle sticks and you're gonna put them on here. Get my colored ones. You're gonna put them on here and you're gonna glue them on. I did it already, but you can see, put on this piece of paper. And then right next to it, whether you need help from a parent or you could do it yourself, I want you to draw or write that last portion of the verse. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And then write Joshua 24, verse 15 on the bottom. I hope you guys have so much fun. If you guys don't have popsicle sticks, like I said, you can totally just draw your house on. Actually, I should draw a door. Doors are handy to get into houses, right? Maybe even a window on the side here, on this other side. Be creative. Mine's kind of funny now. But you can be so creative. Maybe you want a little flower garden next to your house or something. Anything. Draw your house or put your popsicle sticks in the shape of a house, glue it on here, and write the verse right next to it. And this is your activity for this week. See you guys. Oh, and if you guys are wondering, this is my new friend, Guaci. He is an avocado pillow, but I call him Guaci. So, actually I'm trying to decide, Guaci or Guaco. I like them both. I don't know. Maybe I'll have them both be his name. You know, first and middle. Guaci, Guaco, Corset, because Corset is my last name. Bye, guys.